What is Paravox? Paravox, 3 vs 3 TPS featuring tactical strike points rules and fluid high-speed combat. Players choose from a variety of weapons with different styles and skills, considering tactics and synergy. Assemble a team and go to the battle. Character control. Paravox offers various actions as common movement options for all players. By combining these actions, you can enjoy more intense aerial combat. Blink. Double blink. Double jump. By combining jump and blink, you can execute an aerial dash. Mastering the aerial dash enables even faster movement. Additionally, as a pivotal element in shaping the course of battle, Paravox features a trigger system. Excel Trigger enhances mobility, instantly replenishing the blink gauge and increasing charge speed, perfect for aerial combat. Boost Trigger enhances overall combat capabilities. In addition to replenishing the blink gauge, it instantly reloads and increases reload speed. The ultimate trigger grants unparalleled combat power. It removes ammo limits and significantly enhances shooting capabilities. Dominate your enemies by strategically using the 3 different triggers. Game rule. The rule of Paravox is strike points. It's a mode where players compete to occupy designated areas on the map, which switch over time. While holding a strike points, teams gain points over time, and the first team to reach 100 points wins. As strike points switch, the round progresses, and with each round, the respawn time increases. While it's important to accumulate many points early on, winning battles in the later stages offers a chance to earn a massive number of occupation points. Where diverse weapons, a wealth of movement options, constantly changing battle conditions, and various elements intertwine to create a highly competitive experience. Welcome to the world of Paravox.
優勝したチームには賞金1億円が贈呈されます。ブラジル、ラウド、スウェーデン、アライアンス、日本、フェンネル、インドネシア、アルター英語、日本、リジェクト、対フルセンス。そうですね。精度が高い打撃を見せている。決闘戦線。フェンネル VS フルセンス。カウントリードはまだ取れているという形。これでかなりのタイムリードだ。止めなければ。持っていった。初代王者はタイのフルセンスです。
What is up, everybody? You know what it is. It's a Paravox time. It's time to suit up and mask up, Voxers. As you step into the Vox zone, remember, your mask isn't just for show. It's your identity and your protection in this cyberpunk battlefield. Get ready, everybody, to unleash your skills and dominate this competition. Everybody, my name is Bipolar, together with Kian, your casters for today.
And yes, that is a very good sign for us to see. We now know some of these teams here that are going to be playing here. Bipolar. We have Bleed Esports. We have No Org from Indonesia, Alter Ego as well, and Orivo from the Philippines, Blacklist Academy, and also Full Sense from Thailand. And as you can see from the bracket that we're going to see right now, these are very big names here, Bipolar. We will see some of them pull off wins after wins because we are only going to see some best of ones here in our first round, and for the rest and succeeding rounds or series, we're going to see them battle it out in a best of 3 matchup until our finals set up. So what can you say about that here, Bipolar? Because this is going to be a very good game here.
Pero yes, that is right. Kian, very much a great day. How are you, Kian? It's gonna be a good monthly finals. Show me into the ropes naman a little bit. Let's talk about the Paravox and how these teams will dominate the playing field. Take it away.
And I think we're talking here, it's going to be some of these teams that are going to be created. What can you say about here that some of them are going to fight it in the different type of scene, because we now know this 3 versus 3 setup, it's going to be very good, and this setup is type of something that it's not peculiar, but it's going to be a very high-paced and fast-paced maneuveral types. And as I've introduced these teams earlier, Lead Esports is going to battle it out against the Indonesians with the No Orgs, and I think Blacklist Academy and Full Sense has those buy rounds, but still, those series are not to be meddled with, and those underestimated, don't underestimate them, rather, because there's only a one chance here. If you're down to the lower brackets, there's only going to be one chance of winning. There's no going up into the ladder. There's no chances of going and advancing. So that's every round is going to be a do or die. So I guess Bipolar, when we're going to see them fighting it out, we will see some of these comps that are very predictable because this is still in the early beta and this is just going to be released, but with people going to fight it, I hope that the viewers out there is going to be given a chance to be part of this upcoming teams, upcoming players, and not be left behind. And oh, Bipolar, we are going to see the prize pool in here afterwards. So hey, I can hear you now.
Yeah.
Earlier, it was a very
Finally.
good evening for yes. This is going to be final season. I know this. Tonight it has its typhoon or something, and we're just going to have that early on. But still, right now, Bipolar, I hope that you can hear me. Is there going to be confirmation that I hear you right now? Oh, wait. Okay. It's going to be not. Okay, so I heard some of these. It's going to be technical difficulties, but look at the prize pool that we're going to have right now, Bipolar, and for the viewers out there, I know that the 600 USD. That's, I don't know what's the currency rate here from Filipino peso to the USD. I think it's 57 if I'm right. So 6 times 57. I'm sorry, I'm not that good at math, but still, that's around 30,000 pesos here in the Philippines. But for Singaporean dollars, I know that it's going to be much more than what we have right now. And for the viewers out there, I'm just gonna look at this, comment section down below. Oh, we don't have any. We're just going to garner some of these viewers right now. And I hope that the viewers will pile up as soon as this ends. And as soon as the first matchup, we're going to see here Bipolar.
But yeah, again, Kian, that's a big prize pool, 600. Very much a good
and
thing for
if
our
you can
players
hear
to
me here,
win. It's gonna
Bipolar,
be a big
Bleed
sum of money.
Esports against
So a
Noor
lot,
from Indonesia.
a
So
lot are in
Thailanders
stake.
and the Indonesians just go to battle it out, and I hope that Bipolar will see it is going to be changeable right now. And again, Thailanders versus Indonesians, Indonesians versus the Philippines. So 3 countries are only going to be present here, and only 6 teams that we're going to see. I know that the community is not that is not that big, but I hope that it's going to be given out as soon as possible.
But yeah, again, Kian, it's a pleasure to be here. To be with you and to be within the teams that are competing today. Let's elaborate. I just wanna let's give a sneak peek kung sino nga bang who will be the upcoming teams that we'll see here. We have Bleed Esports coming in from Thailand. We have an organization coming in from Indonesia. We have Alter Ego and One Mystery Organization. We have 2 Filipino teams. It's going to be Au Revoir and also Blacklist Academy. Again, Blacklist Academy, it's one of those teams that we look forward to seeing each and every time, because last tournament that we held on Paravox, they did win the tournament, and it's a big thing for them. And to raise the flag of the Philippines in a big tournament, it's going to be a great boost for them later on. And one more team that has won, I think, the recent matches in July here at Paravox, it's gonna be Full Sense coming in from Thailand. So Full Sense and Blacklist Academy, one of our top 2 teams coming into this tournament. Let's see if they have what it takes to get the throne and keep on winning.
Yes, and I hope that Bipolar said that correctly, because Blacklist Academy and Full Sense, again, they're the top 2, but these teams from Bleed Esports, from Noor,
Yes.
Alter Ego, and Au Revoir, these teams have been battling it out months
Yes.
prior to this. They've been looking at each other's shoulders. They've been going at it table after table, tournament after tournament. So the plays are going to be much similar than what they have, but it's just going to be the edge of being ahead of what the other team is going to offer. Because as I've said, and as Bipolar reiterated, that Blacklist Academy and Full Sense, they've been here, they've been at the top, but the others, they've just been trailing ever since. So the 600 USD is not just going to be the prize pool, but also the trophy that they will have and the revenge arc that all of these teams are going to have here by Bipolar.
Beautifully well said, Kian. And it's not just the top 2 teams. It's always, we love to see the back and forth rallies between these players. You love to see the battlefield, the action that they bring into the table. That's why a lot of people are still looking forward to seeing these players. And in the battlefield of Paravox, in the Cyberpunk battlefield, anything can happen. Again, we have 2 teams, but within this bracket right now, again, in this monthly tournament, it's a new month, so we're gonna see a lot more happening here. But we have to include something a little bit here, Kian. We do have an upcoming, these tournaments will have to be extended. I think we'll reach until February, the monthly tournament that we'll be heading. So a lot more at stake. Anyone can still join again, and I think we have open qualifiers for the upcoming PCI. It's the Paravox Big League.
Yes, and that big leagues will go until I think after February. So next year, these monthly tournaments, it's going to be non-stop, guys. It's going to be non-stop for all of the potential and aspiring players to be pro players of Paravox. And again, the cyberbook battlefield that we have right now, it's literally strike point rules and flow with high speed combat. 100 points.
Yes.
most of the time our spills are, you will see us more often to the games itself. This game is so hype and fast paced that whenever there's going to be a split second, it's going to influence the game so much. And some of these classes, so to speak, these types of agents, or I don't know, heroes, is going to be very, very good. So I think I have to ask you here, Bipolar, what are the classes that you want to see here? Because I will just say this personally. As a sniper, I mean myself, I'm a sketchy kind of boy. I want to snipe. I want to help my teammates from afar. That's not even, saying that I'm a coward or something. But again, that's highly positioning, because this is a 3v3. Every man counts. There's no backup most often here.
Yeah, I mean, given the fact that you want to do that, we have Sketchy on the healer side as well. But let's move on a little bit as we go on to our very first matchup. It's gonna be the blue team, which is Alter Ego, and red team, it's gonna be Blade Esports. Beat that already. Kelsey and Sketchy being picked up for Olivier, Ace, and Sheberger, while the red team, or our Bleed team, is picking their classes right now, or their weapons. It's gonna be Nova, Kelsey, and a mystery pick in just a little bit. It's gonna be Bonrat. Okay, very much an interesting picks for these teams, because it's not a mirror matchup. Okay, it's not a mirror matchup.
Yeah.
We're not gonna see the same weapons, the same utilities that they're gonna offer. For Bleed Esports right now, they have a little bit of the edge in terms of damage output, because they have the Nova. The Nova, we already know it, the utility advantage of it, and the sheer power that it gives to the battlefield, it's very much immense. But just like you like playing Sketch or Sketchy. Some would say it like that. They have the healing potential and the support system behind their back. So if you look at it in a scale, it's the battle right now in terms of pickings. It's balanced.
Yeah. It's going to be balanced, because once again, this type of mirror matchup doesn't always necessarily go onto the side of utilities, but how you manufacture them and how you execute them.
Yes.
Because as I've said earlier on, there's the Nova. Nova is like the do-it-all kind of person. All ranges, you will see that. You will help each and every man on your team. But there's also Bonrat, that high octane kind of damage output, but also providing cover with the smoke. That's going to be very good for them. And also the Sketch and the Nova for both of these teams. And also Kelsey, which I think this is going to be a good map or good pick here for this Neo City, because it's been picked by both of these teams. So this is one of the, probably the meta, or so to speak, one of the foundations that they are going to be probably using here. But because, Ken, this is a best of one, folks. If you lose here, you're already going to go down into the 5th place matchup.
It's do or die moment already for our very first match into our tournament here onto the stream. You're gonna see some intense battle in the Cyberpunk battlefield, and again, best of one for the first few games, but later on we'll see some best of 3 series, so even more intense matchup. I'm waiting to see a mirror match within these teams, because sometimes you can see who's the better team right there if you have the same pickings. Am I right, Kia?
Yeah, and those edges are just going to be on the place. And because once again, those brands that if they're going to be mirror picked, it's going to be just, oh, there's no reason why I lost to you because I have this brand or I have this class. There's no going to be that kind of branding or bantering after the game. It's just going to be, I edged you out. I got better and I beat you in this type of setup that you as well are picking. So we're just going to wait for the players out of here, and just as that matters, for the second matchup here, another best of one, Alter Ego, Indonesians versus the Philippines, Au revoir. What can you say about that kind of matchup? Because again, Philippines Indonesians, they are being one of the powerhouses here in this tournament as well. And the Thailanders, full sense, we've seen that. But what can you say about Au revoir here and also Alter Ego here Bipolar?
You know, Au revoir has been the shadow of the top team in the Philippines. You know, they're sometimes seen as the underdog coming in from the Philippines because Blacklist Academy, a very much well-known team in Paravox. So I guess for this monthly tournament, I've heard some things about them. They're trying to dethrone the so-called top two teams. They want to be in the spotlight next. So we have to look forward to that later on. But Alter Ego from Indonesia, they have a lot of potential there. So we still don't know yet. We have to see it in action for us to really say that who is on the top.
Yeah, and being on the top will require to be one of the best. But again, I don't see Nef Chief being used here in Neo City. I guess they're going to probably, distract themselves or not put themselves in Way's arm. Because again, the high risk and high reward of that brand is
Enemies, because if you don't give that A factor moment, they're just gonna landslide you each and every time. So they have to hold strike points, they have to get those kills, because if you guys are new players or you guys are new to Paravox, the longer the rounds are, the longer the respawn time is. And as we say that, this is your first game here in the Paravox monthly tournament. It's gonna be a great one in the blue team. It's gonna be Bleed Esports. It's gonna be on the red team, the No Org, the mystery team coming in from Indonesia.
yes, and now you can see that when Kelly is going to attack here, I think the Bleed Esports will try to have this scaling factor because as you've said, whenever these brands or whenever these players are going to die, as the timer goes down to the wire, you're going to be living and dying, respawning twice and twice more. And right now, it's going to be not good for them if they die so easily into the round. 6-2, first strike point, and they're just going to fight it out. You can see the beat dot whenever they're used here, Bipolar, whenever it's going to be so clean in the attacking, and also it's so fast when you see these high-paced kind of maneuvers going into this attack. Because once again, these are going to be long but so fast-paced that Bipolar, everyone is going to be in so much array after this first strike point.
But now, still, it's the early game. There's still not a lot of points being held. Right now, it's going to be 15-7. Geek William there killing off Oliver, and they're gonna get a double kill right there simultaneously. Now No Org coming in from Indonesia has a little bit of time to get a footing into that strike point, makes it a 15-12 differential. Bleed Esports now above by one player, but will we see some crazy picks here coming from Burger? Coming in, dash up to that building, but he will go down to maybe get into the low ground, but did not get that snipe off to maybe get the damage. The key factor here is these walls are gonna be a force to be reckoned with, because if that is the enemy wall, you have to go through that or go around it to maybe shut out the enemy. But did you see that? Coming in from the skyline, he gets that beautiful air shot.
And that shot is going to be very good for him. And Dra is just left and righting, dashing. And now, as the strike point is going to change in a few, the time here for Noord is actually good. And they're trying to get this. And on the other side, as of now, BD Esports, the lead is just going to try here to be, followed up by Noord, because you can see that the timing for both of these teams is just going to be very difficult. And William 1v1ing, you can see that Kelsey is going to win this. He's just going the wall. He's just place at the right time.
Oh my god, very much crucial gameplay is coming in from these two teams right now. The strike point is changing in just a little while, but two players still down coming in from the side of Noord. And right now, Bleed Esports, they have very much a big lead. Almost a 30-point lead against this Indonesian team. But as you say it, Ace right now just going all around the map, dashing through and through. And they're getting the advantage that they want. The strike point right now is being held by Noord, but wow! A beautiful snipe coming in from him. Now Shiburger trying to get more kills, trying to look for enemies that he can pwn into the ground. It's gonna be a 2v1 situation right there. And Shiburger still onto the pursuit right now. The score is gonna be 60-32 in favor of Bleed Esports. And the wall already up for the side of Noord. Two players falling down for their side. It's gonna be a crazy game right off the bat, Kian.
Yeah, because Bleed Esports right now, you can see that earlier on they were having a tough time of commandeering and maintaining the lead. But right now, 50 plus points, 100 seconds more, and the strike point is going to change. But Noord, they need to hold this out if they even want a chance, because once again, if you lose this best of one, you're going to go down and just fight into our 5th place. Nova from Biors, they need to risk it all here, because 10 more and they're going to say bye-bye here to our monthly tournament, and they're going to say bye-bye here in our finals matchup.
Oh my god!
The walls
7 more points on Shiburger. Oh my god, the wall really has been put down. Shiburger now goes into the front line, goes up and tries to snipe 60 damage onto that enemy. It's gonna be 6 points away, but the point is not on their favor. What a crazy angle coming in from him. It goes in for the backlines, but it's getting shot from behind. Coming in from Biors, but he gets taken down. Now 2 players has fallen down for the side of Noord. It's gonna be 2 points away. It's gonna be 1 point away. Victory for the side of Bleed Esports. This is what I've been telling you, Kian. Once you get that leverage, once you get that rhythm, you get into that 100-point mark easily.
Yes, and that first strike point, yeah, maybe they're just trying to feel things out. The brands are just going to be very good, but when there's a sketch doing those kinds of shots, the second strike point is just going to be easy peasy for them. And Bleed Esport got that win off because, as you've said, when they got the rhythm, they just snowballed that throughout the whole entire matchup. And Noir just didn't even seem to be that kind of competitive afterwards, because I think they got stuck here on the 34, 35 points, and that's a second in that second strike point, and that difficulty that they had, maybe I think that differentiated on what that Sketch have been able to do, and that they did. And Norg will now move on down, and Bleed Esport will fight it against the Blacklist Academy after that.
Yes, so again, beautiful played for both of these teams in the first round. It's a best of one, so one's gonna go down, one's gonna go up. But you can see the battle in the first early rounds. In the first 2 minutes, you can see the score was very much tight. It was just like 1 point here, 1 point there. But once we got into the 50-point mark coming in from Bleed Esports, they just took it right out of no org coming in from Indonesia. They just took every point after that. The walls was there, but in just a little bit, we're gonna be seeing the highlights of the game here for our game one between Bleed Esports and No Org.
Now, it's going to be not good for them if they die so easily in the round. 6-2, first strike point, and
Of points being held. Right now it's gonna be 15-7. Geek William there, they're simultaneously now. Go. And there you go. That's the winning moment of Bleed Esports in our first game. Kian, what are your thoughts on our first game?
yeah, it's going to be a beat dot kind of game there. And one of the things that Paravox did so perfectly is put the brands here that I think is going to be one of the key details that I think this is going to differentiate themselves from the other games. And again, guys, if you want to have this game, you can wishlist this on Steam and it's available in Epic right now, so you should get that. And now we're going to see the match results here. We might see some of these catch players. No, it's actually going to be what I've said here for No Org here. Beat Dot and Draw got that very good damage, but it's just very consistent here for the side of Bleed Esport. And again, the Sketch with a 16-20 damage with a 13-2 KD. No one on their team had more than 5 deaths. So that is literally one of the things that they value most in that game. And everyone is going into the strike point and not letting their roles be defined by themselves. Everyone was contributing left and right. And I think that's one of the differentiating factor that they have right now. And I hope that they will bring it up against Blacklist Academy and No Org. Fortunately, you will see your match up after this. Alter Ego from the Indonesian team and the Orva from the Philippines. Is this going to be the same thing here? Bipolar, will we see another blowout match? Again, this is a best of 1. If you have that mistake, it's going to be do or die. And I hope that they don't, because we want to see this as close as possible, because we have a full-on game after this. And hats off to Bleed Esport in going and moving on to our semifinals.
Yes, very well said, Kian. Again, Bleed Esports going against Blacklist in just a little while. But you gotta give it to Draft coming in with that beat dot of No Org. You can see he was trying to pull together his team, but the execution was not there. Again, the team composition coming in from Bleed Esports was very much precise. You can see the distribution of contributions was there. It was equal. You can see the kills was on Sketch, on the brand Sketch, but in terms of getting into the strike points, getting those points for your team was very much, they didn't leave someone there to capture all of the points. They said like, I'll go to the high ground, I'll kill them off, but let's trade off later. You can go high ground again, let's switch off, I'll go to the low ground. So you can see there was a lot more calm pace coming in from Bleed Esports. And ultimately, that was their winning recipe for that first game. But again, we'll see more of No Org in a little while, but Bleed Esports with a definite W in their hands.
And that definitive W, we will see them up against one of the powerhouses here, Blacklist Academy. But again, we will see first Au revoir versus Alter Ego. And again, you've said it perfectly. The beat dots, they're going into the strike point with all that they have from draw here from Noorg. And again, the ingredients weren't just there. They can't execute it quite as what Bleed Esports did. And whatever that they had and that team composition, those brands that are going to be seen, is going to be very good that they have. And whenever these teams are going to be put into the pressure of trying to get into the strike point, and whenever one's role is going to be out of there and try to kill as much as possible, you can't be one of those roles that is going to be very hard to carry. You can't pull off your weight because again, there's only 3 of you here in this mechanical type of game.
It's a very hard game to master. So you can see these players that are playing right now are on top. They have been in the leaderboards. As you can see, Paravox not only acknowledges our players but posts who's in the leaderboards for like every week, every month. So you can see these players right now, they're trying to prove their worth into Paravox in the Cyberpunk battlefield. And the technical aspect of it really shows when someone like from Bleed Esports know how to get into the high ground with just a little bit of dashes and aerial jumps. But as you can see, going towards